So you know the feeling when you order wheels and then like you get the delivery date, they get delivered, but then everything is just like, what? Why? So I kind of got the wheels for the BRZ today. I got two of the four wheels yesterday. I don't know where the other two are. They're still in transit somewhere. No idea. It could be anywhere in the US. Haven't gotten any updates on them. However, I only need two to get the suspension set up and just right on the car. I am still waiting for some of the suspension components to come in to be able to do the alignment and get everything dialed in, but I was able to pick up some rear lower control arms from Brian at the mod garage. Thankfully, he had thankfully he had a set in stock. So, these things are going on the Girlfriend's Impreza, and I've got one of the new wheels on the car. Ooh! Let me show you guys these because I am more than pleased with this wheel choice that we did. I love it. I love NTO3s. I had NTO3s on my old FRS. They're one of my favorite wheels, especially for the budget that I was kind of working with here, since I've spent, I think I'm around 6,000-ish on the turbo kit. I wanted to get wheels that didn't like literally break the bank. The downside is I only got two of them. Luckily, I still had the tires from the STI, my summer tires from the STI, sitting up on the rack back there. So right now, we're using those old tires just because I don't have the money to buy new ones. So the wheels are 18 by 9.5 plus 40. The tires are 255 40 18s. They are, God, what are they? They are Bridgestone Potenza RE760 Sports. Since we're gonna be pushing a lot more power on the car, I wanted a grippy tire on there. So the RE760 Sports are one of my favorite grippy tires to run. I love Bridgestone tires. On the STI, we're running the DW Continental Extreme because it's more of just in like all season kind of tire, where these are like straight summer tires. But like, I was a little nervous about like the silver on silver kind of thing, but I think it looks so good. We still have to dial in the fitment. So I've only played with this a little bit. I lowered the car a little bit. I'm gonna bring it down just a hair more. I need to roll the fenders, so I need to find a fender roller to be able to do so. But I mean, they fit in there pretty nicely for what we're doing. Plus they look really good on the car. They look better than I thought they did, especially better than these. I don't hate these wheels. I don't like these wheels. These are gonna end up going on the Girlfriend's Impreza, like I've said a couple times now. But this setup, ooh, it's fire. So the goal for today is to get the suspension figured out. So I've got two of these wheels mounted on two tires. Since I only have two of them right now, I get the other two who knows when. So we're gonna get the front suspension dialed in. We're gonna match it on the other side, and then we're gonna have to do the rears because I haven't even played with the rears yet, and we still have to get that one to fit back here. The two 5540s are gonna be really good for the rear since we're gonna be pushing a lot more power in the car. I think this will be a much more functional setup than these baby-ish wheels. And then, like I said, I did grab some of these white line rear control arms. If I can get this paper out of the way. White line rear control arms so that we're going to be able to adjust the camber in the rear of the car. I ordered some SBC toe arms also, so we're going to be able to fix the toe, but I don't have those yet, so I'm not even going to mess with that. So we're just going to get the camber and the height set back here. I'll fix the toe when the toe arms come in. Then up in the front, we're going to get the camber figured out as well as the height. But honestly, like, I'm happy with the setup. I really like the color of the wheels with the color of the car. I ran a darker color on my old orange FRS, but this, ooh, once we get everything dialed in, I think it'll look much better. So let me get to work on playing with this wheel a little bit. First step is going to be to lower the car probably another 1/4 of an inch or so, and then I think we're going to be pretty much set up here in the front. We'll match that over on the other side, and then we'll start doing the rears of the car because I want to see what this looks like with both wheels on one side of the car. Oh yeah, I've got another stupid update for you guys. This one's like dumb. So I took off the antenna on top of the roof to take all of the old wrap off of the car. And when you take your antenna out, there's one screw on the bottom of the antenna that like locks it to the roof. Previous owner stripped it. Like, how do you strip an antenna? So because the antenna's kind of screwed and there's nothing I can do with this one anymore, I ended up ordering the updated shark fin. It's already paint matched. I got it from Subaru. I think it was like $200 or so. So that'll be going on the car. But the roof, I think it looks so much better silver instead of that black color, because that black on the wrap was just like super faded. So I gave this a good clean. I clay barred it. I waxed it, I polished it, and then I put a ceramic coat on it. So the roof should be good to go. But getting off topic, let's get this wheel situation figured out. We'll get the passenger side of the car done, and then we'll match the passenger side over here to the driver's side, so that way we have even suspension on both sides of the car. So I think this is what I'm gonna end up going with here, because I don't want to buy new tires. I just don't have the money for it right now, so I can't run smaller tires up in the front for the time being. Those are too small, they're not wide enough. But these, I think this will work for what we're looking for. So camber is pulled all the way in on the top. It's nothing crazy. We still have good clearance between the actual wheel and the tire here. I'm still gonna roll these fenders. I'll probably pull them just a little bit, maybe 3 millimeters or so, nothing crazy. But toe in the front isn't too bad. It's towed out a little bit, so I need to tow it back in. I think this is what we're gonna roll with. We're still gonna have to do the rears back there, but I'm digging this setup. So I'm gonna go over to the other side of the car. I'm gonna match the height and the camber over here to what we did on that side. I went ahead and I took the measurement from the calipers. I need to get the difference between the locking collars on this front coilover to be about 13.2 millimeters. Once we get that, we can set it back down, and it should level out the front a little bit more because it is looking a little wonky. So let's get this side matched over to that side. We'll see how the car looks. We'll see how it sits, because I am imagining this side is going to pull up a little bit more, and if it does, we can go ahead, we can bring this coilover back down just a hair. So I've got Melanie in the car. She's gonna turn the wheel for me, but we've got this side on as well as this side. And I wanna make sure that we're not rubbing on anything. I was a little concerned, like up in this area, but I am gonna pull the fenders a little bit. So go ahead, turn it all the way right. Back here, it's really close. It's rubbing on the fender liner. Leave it there. Up here on the other side, it looks like we're pretty clear up in this area. Go all the way left now. So the only thing that we seem to be rubbing on is this back piece of the fender liner. I'll see what I can find for deals on like 235 or 255 35s for the front. If I can find a set cheap enough, I'll run them on the front. If not, I guess I'm running these, but you can straighten out the wheel again. I appreciate you. So for the most part, we have the fronts fitted. Like I said, I'm going to see if I can try to find a smaller tire size local to fit these. I'd like to go down to a smaller aspect ratio because these things are a little too wide on the sidewall. If I could go down to like a 255/35 or 255/35, because these are 255/40s, that would be ideal. And then run these 255/40s in the rear, because in the rear we're gonna have a lot more clearance. But let's pull off that other side again. Let's get it fitted up in the rear of the car and start dialing things in, so that way we can get the rear height and rear camber kind of set. We can't adjust toe, like I said, because I don't have those toe arms yet, but let's get this situation kind of figured out. BRZ's jacked up. Let's get these new lower control arms in. I decided I'm gonna get new tires for the front wheels. I'm gonna get two 45/35s for up here, because this is a little too meaty for the front, but they should do absolutely perfect in the back. So I wanted to jack both ends of the rear end up, so that way we could get these lower control arms put in. Once the lower control arms are put in, we'll put the car back on the ground. Then we'll start getting this new setup test fitted back here, get everything dialed in, get everything good to go. Once we get one side figured out, we'll pull off that front wheel up there, bring it back here, put it on this rear too. So that way the rear end will pretty much be done with the exception of toe. So to swap these out, pretty simple. Pretty much went over this in the coilover video. Undo all the bolts, put this new one in. The way that this one adjusts camber is this slide right here, using these like locking caster type bolts. I'll show you how this works once we get to that point. But let's get these new arms in and get these new wheels fitted in the back. I forgot how much I hate dialing in suspension, but it's coming along. So the rear LCAs are in. I have the camber set like to full camber right now. And I also pulled off the NT03 off the front of the car. So I've got both of them just kind of hanging out back here right now. I'm gonna get one side jacked up in the rear. We're gonna test fit the wheel. We're gonna get the suspension dialed in on the rear. I'm gonna tell you now, the toe on the rear is so screwed right now because I have camber added, and adding camber or changing any suspension component can really mess with the toe of the car. If you look at it, it is like so towed in. We need to fix that. So I can't fix that till I get the SPC toe arms in, but what I can do is get the height set and the camber set. So that way, once we get the toe arms in, we can just put the toe arms in, adjust the toe, get it back to where we need it, and be good to go. Woo! Don't like adjusting suspension, but let's get the rears done. We have the fronts kind of test fitted and done. I am gonna order some 245/35s for the front two wheels, or see if anyone local has a set that I can go pick up and run those. I'm gonna try to stick with the Bridgestone Potenzas for the front. If I can't get those, then I will go with the next best tire that I can find. So let's get the rear jacked up. Let's get the height set. Well, first let's test fit one to see what we need to do, see if we need to adjust the camber, see if we need to adjust the height. If we need to adjust either one of those, we will do so, but let's get to cracking. Blam, well blam. All right, this is what we're going with for height. It is not too bad. I'm getting a fender roller tomorrow to be able to roll and pull these fenders a little bit. I'll show you guys how to roll and pull fenders also, or at least the way I do it without like completely destroying your paint or wrecking it. Now, if you look at the very top of the wheel, you can see that the front of it is more in than the back. That's why I need the toe arms. Like, we are so towed in with this wheel. It is ridiculous. It is nowhere near being drivable right now, but we've got the height figured out and the camber figured out because that is what we wanted to do. So now we're gonna get this other wheel thrown back on. Well, we're not gonna get it thrown back on. We're gonna get it put on. We're gonna put the wheel on. So let me measure the height of the coilover, the gap between the two collars. We'll match it on that side. We'll make it the same as this side. We'll put it back on the ground. Bada bing, bada boom. We've got the front set up. We got the rears done. Let's get it. So I am probably filthy, but we have the rear suspension kind of set on the car. We have the height dialed in. The toe on the car is really bad. Like, the toe is super, super bad. Like, if you look at it, it is so towed in up here. The car is essentially undrivable right now. So once I get the toe arms in, we can get that corrected. We can get the rear suspension really dialed in back there. But these wheels, I'm digging them. I love them. I love NT03s. A good set of NT03s is a really good budget-friendly wheel that performs really well. They're very light and they look good. The silver on silver, I'm digging also. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. I didn't even think about it when I ordered the wheels. I forgot the car was silver entirely until I opened the box. I was like, ooh, silver wheels on a silver car. We'll see how it goes. When it comes to dialing in your suspension, there is so much that goes into it. Tire size, suspension components to be able to adjust everything properly, height of the car, just endless. It's literally endless. But our height is set all around the car, which I'm happy with. So once we get the other two wheels in, I'm going to try to find tires locally so that way I'm not having to wait. That's what I'm looking for. We got 2 out of the 4 wheels on the car. Once I get the other 2 out and we get the rear of the car actually aligned, we can pull it out of the garage and see how it actually looks. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks good in the garage, especially like those NT03s compared to like these niche wheels. I like the NT03s better, but personal opinion. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. We got a lot of parts coming in for the BRZ in the next couple weeks. Anything ranging from turbo kits, suspension setups, some exterior stuff. Like I told you guys, the antenna on the car broke too. I'm a little sad about that. So just a lot of random plethora of parts coming in. Super excited to get this build going. I've always wanted to do this kind of stuff to a BRZ for a very, very long time, and I'm glad that I finally have the opportunity to do so. But with that, that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and turn it blue. Like the blue Subaru way out there. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, which your boy would greatly appreciate it if you were, bam, right up there in that corner, go ahead and hit that button. Ooh, well, you guys know. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.